Good morning, welcome to Life of Dave. We're back down the boat for another morning, see what we can get done. Basically put a load of glass on last time I was down here. Bit of glass on the hatch, I've got to sand that round, I've got to sand down the main bits over there on the hatches and see if we can get these to fit nicely. So, hopefully that's filled that gap a little bit on here, a little bit on there, and we'll see if it all fits together, because there was quite a nasty jaggedy gap before. So hopefully we can sort that out. See if we can get a little bit closer. If I've got to put a little bit more glass on, it's not too much of an issue. I'll just build it up a bit at a time. As I found out, trying to put multiple layers on there didn't really work. I've got another problem. I'm not sure what's caused it. Well, I think I know what's caused it. Right, so we've got some glass on. So I've built up this bit on the corner. I've built up across the top here, all the way over to here. I've built up this section here, tying these two sections together. So that's all got to be sanded. I've put a little bit on the front where these hinges got to go. This has all got to be sanded off and sorted out. I've put a bit more on the front of where these hinges go. So I think I need more build up on the bottom so that it brings that down. What I'm trying to make is a wedgy bit there so the hinge sits flat on the front and not on this radius. As I said before, I needed to make the cupboards a little bit deeper so that I had more depth there to fix in, so that this section here where the hinge is going is flat. Being curved, it doesn't work, and I don't think I can curve the hinges, they're too small. I'll make a right mess of them. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Right, so anyway, so that's all on, and it's pretty happy with how it's come out, except for this bit and that bit. Now for some reason, and I don't know exactly why, but this bit is sticky, and so is this bit. It's not set. So I've ballsed up somewhere. The only thing I can think of is I mixed up my resin. I mixed it thoroughly because everything else has gone off, but I'm suspecting maybe there was a drip on the side of the pot, and I've wiped the brush around and put a little bit of resin up there that wasn't catalysed. I must have had a bit of non-catalysed resin on the side of the pot, and I've used, it's got on the brush, and it hasn't set. All the rest of it seems fine. I've been over it, everything's set solid, there's no other sticky spots, but I've got one there and one there, little sticky spots. Now I don't know if I can put a bit more resin on that with a bit of catalyst in and get that to go off, or have I got to cut that out and start again. Not sure what to do with that. I don't know which the best way is. I mean, I could put resin over it and I know that resin would go off. Would that make that go off and cure all the way through it, or have I got to cut that out? Anyone know? Drop us a message. Yeah, I'm unsure as to what to do with it now. If I can't figure it out, then what I'll do is I'll run a blade around and remove the section of glass, take it out completely, and just put another bit in with a bit more catalyst and resin. I think that would be the easiest way to go. Like I say, I could just mix up some resin and dob it into it and see if that will go off then, which I think it would, but I don't know if that would be right. I mean, it's not structural integrity to the boat, it is only structural for the lockers. I mean, and they're tied in all the way along there, so it's, but if that's gonna then blister, weep, whatever, affect and come through the gel coat in the future and mess it all up, then I don't want to leave it like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sort it. So I've got some sanding to do. I've got to sand that lot off, because what I tried to do was stack all the bits together and then stick them on the part, and all they've done is spread out. So yeah, I cut them roughly just over the width of the part, so 5 to 6 mil, 7 mil, and that's how they ended up after I'd stacked them together. And same on this bit, I cut nice thin strips that went round there. I stacked them all together and they just went I couldn't get them into position, keeping them neat and tidy as I wanted them. So I've got to now sort out trimming that lot off. That should be fun. But there we go. Well, that's my life's little problems. I'll work out what I'm going to do. I want to get all these niggly bits sanded off, flatten all that down. You know, nothing worse than sticking your fingers on fiberglass that's jagged out. So I'm going to get all that dressed up and sorted out, and then I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do here. If I get a chance, I might get a bit more glass on there. I wanted to start doing the underneath sanding. I'm going to nib down all this lot, take care of that, and then we'll see what I'm going to do about that lot. That's a bit of a shame. It's going to put me back a wee bit, but that's got to be done. I'll have to do something with it. Can't leave it like that. Right, be back soon. That's a lot better. Come out nicely on the back. On the front, typical, there's a little gap there, but that's where it was damaged with a cutter. So that'll have to be filled. I won't be able to get glass into that. That's done really, but that's a lot better than it was anyway. So all I've got to do now is get rid of this lot and see how it fits. And like I say, I've got to do something about these soft spots, but I'm just going to sand around them for now. I might end up just taking that out, but that's going to gum the paper up something chronic if I try and sand over it. But it might be that I do that last, or when the paper's half knackered, which won't be long because I've just destroyed that bit. Would have been easier and quicker to get the grinder out on that bit to take that off, but it also makes a hell of a lot more dust. Especially inside the boat. You know, I'll try not to use the grinder unless I need to, because it is, you know, I come out looking like Casper. Still fits. So it's bridged a lot of that gap there, except for this bit up here, which I thought as much. I couldn't get the glass into that section there. This looks much better on the cover, but there is again a little notch, so not bad. You can see the cover's a lot closer. You see how far out I was. So there's a little notch there, which, unless I can get a little sliver of glass in there, is going to have to be filled, I think. And then this end, again, see it's filled that section in there quite nicely. There's a little bit down here, that corner there. There shouldn't be any corners, it should be rounded, and that little bit there. So I need a little bit more build up between there and there, there and there. But that ain't bad, not bad at all. For a first run at it, I'm quite pleased with how it's come out. Obviously I've got to sand these down flat on the front, leaving them sticking out at the bottom. So the idea is that holds these hinges out. At the moment it's holding the whole bottom out because it's going to be carbuncle inside. I think it's maybe time for a new pair of gloves. They're all right on there.
hoping the idea is going to work, and that should make these hinges sit flatter on the front there. Does look like that's pretty flat now. I think that's worked, so I can probably take off most of this bottom. That seems to have done the trick there. It still seems to be sitting out at the top. Could be. So I've straightened that out, but we're now sitting out proud of the surface. So something's changed. Little lip there, that's not hitting. Doesn't feel like anything majorly stuck in there. But obviously, if something a mil thick is stuck on the back of this, it'll hold it out a mil. Well, all I've done is altered the bottom to bring the hinges out there. Now that's better, that's gone in, so that must have been catching on something. This one's still holding out. So it's level, gone in this end now. It's holding out here. That could be that bottom bit there. Not going right in there. We can trim that. I've still got a trim in here. I can't get that with a sander, so I'm going to have to get my cutter out and try and trim this lot out now. But the glass is nicely stuck. It doesn't try to peel off of there at all. So if I can trim that down, then I'm going to have to probably hand sand it to finish it off. That has done what I wanted. It's filled that gap nicely. So let's get my cutter out, let's get this finished. I'd like to do some glass in today, but I think if I can just get this locker fitted up properly so that I've finished an area, that'll be good. Or at least mostly finished it, and then maybe see if I can put a little bit of glass in there, sand the rest of that, and I think I'll probably put a bit more glass in those. Hopefully this will do the job. Fantastic. Gotta love them tools. Beautiful. Now I'll just get that a little smooth off with some paper by hand. So I need a little more build up in a couple of spots there. And I'll do that a tiny bit at a time, so I'll just stick a bit on, let it set up, sand it next time. That's much better. That's beautiful. There you go. So that was holding up that little bit there, that was holding that out. That looks better now, so I need a little bit in there and a little bit in there. That's the bit where I was trying to get the stick. I was trying to do it all in one, and it just went to crap. It just wouldn't work. So I had to have bought that and just let it set up really, which seems to have worked nicely around there. So I've just got to adjust the end points there. So now that fits nicely again, I'm going to make it not fit nicely again. So I need to build up there to there. That's not too bad. I can live with that. It's not 100% perfect, but it's good enough. There's a little bit of damage on that cover there. This will all be skimmed anyway, so I'm not too worried, but it's just so I know where to skim it. So I need to build up this bit there to there, and say from there to there. So this is the heaviest point there. There's a big gap there. So there we go, look, so not bad at all, tiny little gap there at the top, looks quite big, but you know, it's only what, 3mm. It's relatively large in gap sizes, so I want like a mil gap all the way round. This one's quite huge, it's like a big chasm, you know, you can see, so that glass took up that gap nicely there. It wouldn't stick into this top corner here, it tapered out there, so I need to build up a bit more from that taper going around there up to that point there, building more in the corner. So I'll probably have to stick a little bit in there, and I might be able to get a little bit tapering over the top, we'll see. And then down here there's a little gap there as well, so nearly there. A little bit more glass in and that will be fine, but at least the hatch fits in the hole nice again. I'm quite happy with the build up that I'm getting. I've just got to adjust it a bit more, so I've got some more sanding to do. Let's get rid of all these teeth, get that smoothed out, and see if I can grind out these bits. That'll probably gum up the paper nicely and finish that off, and then I can redo it at least. So at least we'll get rid of that bit that's gone wrong there, and yeah, get a bit more glass stuck in it. Shouldn't take too long to do that. So what I've done when I've got here is I whacked a little bit of catalyst over the top of these to see if that would just help it tack off a bit, and it does seem to have lost some of the sticky, but it's still a little bit there, so it will be going and redone, I think. I just don't think it's right to leave it, so we'll get rid of it. Right, let's try and grind that out. This morning about 4 degrees, the wind's biting cold. Warming up a bit now though, the old sun's come out. I had to turn the heater off a while ago. It was freezing this morning and now it's roasting. Right, so that's ready for a bit of glass, so's that. Stop that so I don't lose it. Quite obvious, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you might forget, you think, oh yeah, I'll do that another time, and then you forget all about it, and then, oh, before you realise you're just about to go do something else, and you remember, oh yeah, I've got to do that. Still need a bit more sand in there. Turn that paper around, give it another go, finish that off. I need to check that hatch as well. Number 2. This has got the old hinges on, so they've got to be changed. Right, so this one's not too terrible in the whole department. There's a little sanding round there, that needs a little filler there and a little filler there. So I've got to start working these hatches, making them look pretty. Oh, there needs filling. It's not too bad, but could do with a little bit from there to there, and that bit's terrible from there to there. Do a little stripping through there. Take that bit out by hand. Trying to grind this lip away where it's come down, but without hitting the backing piece that I put in behind it as well, grinding that away. That's better, it's a bit more even all the way along. That bit there needs to take out, and that bit there needs to build up. So a little bit of build up through there. 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 Yeah, and a tiny little bit of filling just around there, just to tighten up the gap a little bit. It's actually not too bad, it's quite even. I just want to tighten it a little bit. Yeah, we can do that. I've just got to go with one layer of glass in there and let it set. That last time I tried doing like 2 or 3 layers to build it up, it really didn't work. It just turned into a bit of a nightmare, made a lot of mess, and it just went all over the place. So I'll do 1 layer at a time. Need a little more sanding on the top of there just to finish that off. I don't want to grind all the glass away because then I'll be back to having no thickness there. I only want to smooth it off and key it up so that I can put some fairing compound over there to finish it off. That'll lose any imperfections, and then sand that right back until I get the glass coming through and the fairing's just taking out the dimples in the fiberglass. I don't want any seriously thick build up. Right, let's crack on.